Welcome to our Basecamp barn project. As we wait for our building permits for the barn to go live, we'll continue working on our shed. Last episode we faux painted our garage doors and we got our faux roof built. This episode we'll mount our Versetta Stone siding and pull some electrical wires as we wait for our standing seam roof. Let's get to work!
Alright, this morning we're gearing up to put some rock on some siding today because my core vent showed up. So this is what this stuff is. SV3 siding vent is 3/8 of an inch thick and it goes along the bottom here. And it has a screen protection or a insect screen, and it's crush resistant, and it allows the siding to breathe. So they call it a rain screen because rain will fall on the siding and usually drops off, but if there's any condensation or leaks, it'll fall behind the sticks, and because it's vented on the top and the bottom, it will air out and breathe. So that's the idea here. And that's why I furred everything out, or that's why I'm furring everything out, is it gives us a place for the wall to breathe with the siding protecting it. I'm just going to put the core vent along the bottom, so that's my air in spot, because we're going to breathe it all the way up to the soffits, and then the roof, the steel roof, is going to breathe out the top here just like a normal roof would. So we're breathing from the bottom of the wall all the way up to the top vent. So because it gets hot up there with the sun, I think it's going to suck air wonderfully and be very dry. Anyway, it's just a way to try things out. This barn, or this shed I should say, this shed is a way to try things out, and that's one of the things I wanted to try, is this rain siding concept, and we'll see how it works. But this is what I was waiting for. I ordered this a week or so ago and it has shown up, so now I can put it on, and I'm gonna start putting some rock on this side here and see what it looks like. I might get a roofer by today to take a look at this project, and we'll see if we can get a steel roof on this thing here pretty quick. That's also today. So we got lots of stuff going on today. This is going to go around the whole perimeter of the bottom of the barn, or of the shed. And this is the rock sill. So this is what the Versetta Stone over there sits into this rock. And let's see how we do this. I'm going to put the bug screen to the bottom, and I'm going to hang it down maybe a 1/4 inch. I want to be flush with this edge, as I'll put something on that edge. Doesn't have to be particularly level or anything. You see, this is going to go on the top. I'm going to be just a little bit low of the ledge, and then this is going to end up being lower of the ledge a little bit too, because if you're up higher, then the water this will just drip out. The rock itself has a little lip on the bottom that sits in that ledge, and then you screw it to the wall here, and then there's a lip in the top for the next course to sit in, and then you screw it down, and then we're going to have a top course, and it has a little ledge on it too, and screws it down. This is showing level right about there. All right, first piece of stone. So now it's time for some furring strips.
I cut all my furring strips out of the same LP SmartSide siding material I'll be using for my siding. It measures about 7/16 of an inch thick, so it matches the core vent thickness pretty close. I screwed it in with the primed side facing the zip sheathing with long screws wherever there was a stud and short screws where there wasn't. Now it's time to cut some rock. The Versetta Stone is a hand-painted cast concrete product. I easily cut it with a standard diamond-edged mortar blade on my grinder.
We'll basically be cutting this stone right there.
It almost felt like cutting plaster. It made a lot of dust, so make sure you wear eye protection and a mask.
So this piece is going to go here, just like that. None of these blocks are perfect, it seems like. I gotta cut off this little edge. And we'll screw this one in. Make sure the track is clean. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that piece that we just cut, we're gonna do that. And this piece here, I believe, is the one that's gonna go next to it. We might have to put a little feeder there. Now that's breaking right here, so maybe not. Maybe we'll put the big one next to it. Like that. And then this one will go in over here. Like that. And then that piece that's left over there will have to fit right here. Over here. Like that. It was going to go in like that, but we got to cut it just a little bit shorter because this piece is going to come over here and cover that, I think. All right. Clear out the channel. Look at that. Nice. I like that. How does it look? Doesn't look too bad. Bunch of pieces. Check it out. That's the only leftovers I got. So that's not bad use. Not bad yield. Not bad for a rookie.
The Versetta Stone went on very well, so I'm moving on to some power. If you recall episode 7, we had our power installed, and we pulled wire big enough for 400 amp service, but we couldn't get a 400 amp panel. Still, for another year, can you believe that? This is a 200 amp panel. It was supposed to be temporary, but now its location is permanent, because once we start on a farmhouse in a couple of years, we'll have to change this out to a 400 amp panel. But for right now, this 200 amp panel is going to be used to provide power for the RV, which already is, the barn, and the shed. I installed some conduit from this power panel to a sub panel inside. 80 amp service inside there, so I've got an 80 amp breaker ordered, but I don't have it installed, so we're not going to hook up this side, but we're going to end up pulling wire throughout the shed for all the outlets and lights. Let's pull some wire. Well, I'm going to be stringing these wires through. I'll start here and I'll go inside. Okay, I got the wire coming through here. And we're just gonna get it to go up the hill. Hopefully without binding up. This is number 4 gauge wire. Because I want to run a 80 amp circuit. So we got our wire through just fine. Sometimes 4 gauge is pretty thick to get around these tight corners, but everything worked out well. Everything's in here. Also ordered a 80 amp breaker off of Amazon because our local home place didn't have it, so that'll be in Tuesday. So this is just all kind of dry fit over here. We'll get this one and these things hooked up on this side, and we'll leave the other side empty. Okay, let's wiggle. Make sure they're tight. Stranded, you know, so wiggle them. And do it again. Alright, so while I'm waiting on the breaker to show up, kind of get these wound up and safe in here. Because it's hot, you see? I don't want no hot nothing getting in or anything, so we'll just end up there like that. All of my electrical plugs are 20 amp plugs. I like 20 amp plugs in the shop because I often run power equipment, table saws, etc. So I have them all running off of 20 amp breakers. They're all 12 gauge wire. So that's part of my interior shop space. I've got a separate breaker run for the workbench area, and then all of the plugs on the wall are on their own circuits. So I've got 2 circuits of 20 amp power, and I'm going to have 2 circuits of 15 amp light power. One of them is going to be an inside lights, so all the inside lights are going to be on one lap or one circuit, and all the exterior lights are going to be on another circuit. I've got a light sensor ordered. So I'm going to put a light sensor onto the exterior light circuits, and we'll have a switch here that we can switch them on or off if we want to, but it'll invariably always be on, and the light sensor will trigger the outside lights to turn on and off at dusk and dawn. And I was just thinking I need to have an outlet out there for holiday lights, holiday light strings, so maybe the location of the light sensor will be a place where I can put a box up there and put an outlet for Christmas lights. So that'll all be on the same circuit too. So whenever the light sensor triggers, then everything turns on. And obviously this panel is cold because I don't have the breaker even installed on the other side. there's those. I gotta drill a couple holes. Over here. Make sure you mark your wires. So this is all A-L lights. All lights. We're going to come in, put a stake there, we'll put a stake there. Probably cut this to there. Highly accurate. So I just realized something. I was going to run everything, all the light power through that box, but I have 2 independent circuits, so I can't. Duh. Sometimes I think too much. Finally, we got some action on the roof. It took a couple weeks for the standing seam parts to be made and delivered. But man, did it turn out good. Next week we go for a hike on the perimeter trail around Ouray and get the call we've been waiting for. So hit that subscribe button and notification bell. The Basecamp Barn Project will be back to digging some dirt again. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.